Hello everyone, welcome to my class. Today we are going to talk about reducing dropout rates in our country, specifically Philippines. Its main objective is to discuss the intervention program to reduce the high dropout rate of public and private schools. Dropout or school dropout. It is defined as a pupil or student who has stopped attending school before completing the prescribed level of education within the specified school year. Dropout rate. The dropout rate, meanwhile, is the percentage of students who drop out from a level of education in a given school year, including those who transfer out to other places, and those who complete the school year but fail to enroll in the next or succeeding school years. In the Philippines, the dropout rate is certainly a measure used to assess an educational system. In fact, proponents of the new DepEd K-12 curriculum have claimed that decongesting the old 10-year curriculum and spreading what needs to be taught over 12 years, there would be less students falling behind or unable to keep up with the learning. But seeing that the dropout rates are increasing is therefore not good news for DepEd. Okay, this time, let's explore the intervention program in Philippine education. Dropout Reduction Program, or DORP. What is DORP? It is an intervention program to reduce the high dropout rate and improve learning outcomes in public and private schools of the country using formal, non-formal, and informal approaches. Its aim is to facilitate access of every Filipino to quality basic education, which equips him with the basic literacy tools and content that are essential for the growth and development as a person and as a citizen of a democratic society. Specific objectives: reduce, if not eliminate, school dropout. Second, increase retention rate. Third, increase significantly the achievement level of SARDO. SARDO refers to student at risk of dropping out. Then we have retrieve learners who are out of school. Increase the capability of schools to establish, implement, monitor, evaluate, and continuously improve the DORP program. Design and continuously improve DORP practices and learning materials. And lastly, benchmark the best DORP practices. What are the underlying assumptions of the DORP program? First, if the continued increase in the rate of school dropout is not arrested, then the EFA, or Education for All, goal of making every Filipino functionally literate by 2015 would not be achieved. Number two, the increase in dropout rate could be arrested if the causes of the dropout problem are properly identified and described, and appropriate intervention programs are initiated to remove the causes. Number three, if the school, the home, the community, and the SARDO are actively involved in planning, developing, implementing the DORP, then the DORP would succeed. Number four, the likelihood of students leaving school could be reduced if students' felt needs are being satisfied and learning experiences are pleasurable. Number 5, learning is scaffolding. If student attendance is irregular and previous lessons are not fully mastered, then the scaffolding process is weakened. Number 6, the full mastery of basic competencies could be achieved if the instructional process has a strong remedial component. Number 7, if the school has a strong and effective DORP, which is collaboratively planned and managed by the school head, teachers, students, parents, and other key stakeholders, then the school dropout rate would be diminished. Number 8, the school DORP would have higher probability of success if it is provided support by the division, regional, and adequate technical and administrative central offices. What are the guiding principles of the DORP? Number 1, DORP as an intervention should contribute significantly to the attainment of the School Improvement Plan or SIP, which objective is to reduce dropout rate and increase retention and achievement rates. Number 2, DORP should not merely keep the Zardo in school, nor prevent them from dropping out. It should also seek to help them master the basic learning competencies. Number 3, home visit is a DORP intervention, whether scheduled or unscheduled, focused or unfocused, should be properly planned. Objectives, expected outputs, and approaches should be clear and specific. Number 4, guiding principles. DORP must educate the Sardo to be independent, critical, and creative problem solvers. Hence, the Sardo should be involved actively in planning, executing, and evaluating intervention programs intended to address their problem. They must actively participate not merely as subject, but also as subjects of their own development. Number 5, DORP should not only prevent students from dropping out, it should also seek to retrieve those who have dropped out. And number 6, DORP has for its clients learners in disadvantaged circumstances, such as the program must not depend solely on formal or conventional modes of learning. It should explore alternative modes that best meet the learning needs of its clients. Number 7, guiding principles of the DORP. Being in distress and disadvantaged situations like poverty, poor health, physical handicap, low intelligence quotient is not conducive to the development of a positive self-concept. Hence, DORP should endeavor to build up the self-confidence and self-reliance of the student at risk of dropping out. Number 8, good decisions are informed decisions. Thus, decisions on the type of intervention appropriate to an individual should be based on a careful analysis of adequate, relevant, accurate, and up-to-date information. Number 9, teachers should fully aware that fast learners who are bored or not challenged by the mediocrity of the lessons, which are generally attuned to the average learner, can also be potential, if not actual dropouts. DORP, therefore, in its zeal to focus on the Zardo, must see to it that the bright students do not become underserved and disadvantaged. Number 10, DORP should not only be reactive and preventive, but should also be proactive to cover the needs of those who drop out and re-enroll. What are the legal bases of the DORP program? Article 14 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution provides that the state shall protect and promote the right of every citizen to quality education at all levels and shall take appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all. Number 2, establish, maintain, and support a complete, adequate, and integrated system of education relevant to the needs of the people and society. And number 3, encourage non-formal, informal, and indigenous systems, as well as self-learning, independent, and out-of-school study programs, particularly those that respond to community needs. We also have the Education Act of 1982, BP Building 232, stipulates that the state shall provide the right of every individual to relevant quality education regardless of sex, age, creed, socioeconomic status, physical and mental condition, racial or ethnic origin, political and other affiliation. We also have Republic Act 9155, Governance for Basic Education Act of 2001. It envisions a curriculum that shall promote the holistic growth of Filipino learners and enable them to acquire the core competencies and develop the proper values. This curriculum shall be flexible to meet the learning needs of a diverse studentry, be relevant to their immediate environment, and social and cultural needs. And last one, Article 28 of the United Nations Conventions on the Right of the Child, November 1989. It provides that states parties recognize the right of the child to education, and with a view to achieving this right progressively and on the basis of equal opportunity, they shall in particular: Number 1, make primary education compulsory and available free to all. Number 2, encourage the development of different forms of secondary education, including general and vocational education. Make them available and accessible to every child, and take appropriate measures such as introducing free education and offering financial assistance in case of need. And number 3, take measures to encourage regular school attendance and reduce dropout rate. What is the conceptual framework of the DORP? Okay, the conceptual framework graphically represents how the DORP supports the regular class program to attain the goal of the SIP and the DEDP in producing a functionally literate learner or graduate. It also shows the relationship of the DORP to the alternative learning system. This is how the DORP operational framework. So it represents how the program functions at the school level and how the division, regional, and central offices of the department support the program in accordance with the Republic Act 9155 or Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001. These are the acronyms and abbreviations relevant to the DORP program. Okay, this is ALS, Alternative Learning System. DDORP, Division Dropout Reduction Program. DEDP, Division Education Development Plan. DORP, Dropout Reduction Program. EASE, Effective Alternative Secondary Education. EFA, Education for All. LGU, Local Government Unit. LMP, Learning Management Program. M&E, Monitoring and Evaluation. NEC, National EFA Committee. OHSP, Open High School Program. We also have OI, Other Interventions. OSY, Out of School Youth. PTCA, Parent Teacher Community Association. RDORP, Regional Dropout Reduction Program. REDP, Regional Education Development Plan. SARDO, Student Address at Dropping Out. We also have SDORP, School Dropout Reduction Program. SII, School Initiated Interventions. SIP, School Improvement Plan. SLP, Student Learning Plan. What are the strategic components of the school DORP? Okay, we have number 1, OHSP, which is Open High School Program. This is an alternative mode of secondary education that addresses learning problems of students who cannot join the regular class program due to justifiable reasons. So these reasons may include physical impairment, employment, distance of home to school, education design, family problems, and the like. Number 2, Effective Alternative Secondary Education, or EASE. This is an alternative mode of learning for short-term absentees or temporary leavers of the regular class program due to justifiable reasons: part-time job, illness in the family, seasonal work, calamitous events, peace and order problem, and the like. This learning mode uses modules which the students study while on leave of absence. Number 3, School-Initiated Interventions, or SII. So these are innovative and homegrown interventions developed by schools to prevent the SARDO from dropping out and to increase their achievement rate. The SII is based on the SARDO's felt needs. Hence, they participate with the school head, DERP council, SII coordinator, teachers, parents, and other key stakeholders in planning, implementing, monitoring, and evaluating the program. Number 4, Other Interventions. These are interventions developed not by the school itself, but by the other agencies, which also resulted in increasing the holding power of the school. For example, the provincial LGU of Leyte. So they initiated ICOT, ICOT-P, or Income Creating Opportunities, through technology projects, which generated income for the 3rd and 4th year high school students at risk of dropping out due to lack of financial support. What critical factors contribute to the successful implementation of the DOR program? Number 1, committed leadership. This refers to the leadership of the school head, the school DORP council, the teachers, and the division DORP council involved in managing the program, the willingness to devote extra time and effort to help the SARDO, the dropout returnees, and the would-be enrollees ensures the successful implementation of the DORP. Number 2, trained DORP council and implementers. The competence to manage is a prerequisite of the DORP. The division and school DORP councils and all DORP implementers should be provided with capability building activities to enhance their knowledge, skills, and attitudes to implement the DORP successfully. Number 3, availability of materials. Materials, print and non-print, should be available as needed to ensure that learning objectives are achieved. Number 4, participation and support of stakeholders. The active and direct involvement of the students and their parents or guardians is a must in all the DORP activities. Likewise, the support of the other stakeholders, like local government, PTCA, community officials, non-government organizations, and others, is necessary inasmuch as several risk factors are community-related. Okay, who are the beneficiaries of DORP? Okay, number 1, we have students at risk of dropping out or SARDO. Number 2, out of school youths of school age who decide to complete basic education through the alternative delivery mode. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something new today.